and welcome to another episode of Garden to Table with Rose, and I am Rose. It is early in the morning, 7 o'clock on May 4th, Sunday. It's freezing out here. It's like 41 degrees, I think, and it's supposed to be a high of 60, and rain. So I'm out here bright and early to try to do my little garden tour before a lot of noise starts on the street and before it rains. But yeah, it's freezing, which may cause my voice to break up a bit, that and it being very early for me. Alright, so I'm standing on the deck, and for some reason it never looks like it's a lot, but I tell you I have. So, but we'll get to that. One thing I am going to do today, I went to Walmart yesterday, and I have brags and brags about the clematis I got from Walmart for $3.50. Well, now their bare roots are $5.50 or $5.49 or something. But I did go yesterday, so I grabbed some. These are seeds that I'm just going to plant out soon. That's why they're in this bag. Mostly flowers, I believe. Let's see. Get my supplies out of this bag. I use this thing almost every time I'm in the garden. This is a hori knife. It is an invaluable garden tool. This is one you should definitely buy. Obviously, you need a good pair of pruners. I got these Velcros because all the gardening people say these are the best to buy, the best brand. Swiss made, it says. I haven't been that happy with them, honestly. They rust very easily, so I have to oil them like regularly. They rust every time I use them on anything moist. and also I haven't been able to remove any of these screws, even though they look like they have a flat head. They won't come off, and I've needed to adjust it because this is very difficult to move. So usually I just leave them open because that's very hard to push with the finger. And I have to sharpen them every time I use them. They just don't hold sharpness. I mean, I know you have to sharpen your pruning shears, but not usually every time you use them. I haven't been that happy with those. So I did buy from Walmart a brand that has been known as a relatively inexpensive brand, but honestly, I've gotten good stuff from them, so I'm not complaining. Fiskars. So I just got these Fiskars. They have a nice handle that's padded. They have several varieties. You just got to kind of try them out in the store. But I like these because they're all steel, it says. So it was all metal. The other cheaper ones than this had like plastic all up in here, and I didn't like that. So I like a solid metal. But yeah, I got these from Walmart, and these were like $14, I think. They weren't too expensive. I mean, they had a like professional pair that kind of looked just like these. That was $30, but I didn't need all of that because I already have a professional that I'm not happy with. Anyway, I got my corn. I'm actually going to plant some corn just since I got space for it. I usually plant corn every other year because I only need so much. Each stalk of corn gives you 2 ears of corn, and then what I do is I freeze it. I blanch it first and then freeze it, and then when I want corn or need corn for a recipe, I pull it out. But I rarely eat corn. Not that I don't like it, I really like it, but many years ago I went paleo, and when I went paleo you couldn't eat corn. It wasn't on the plan at all. So I just kind of stopped eating it, and then even now I'm not paleo. I mean, I eat healthy. I eat homemade, whole foods kinds of things. But I just never really went back to corn too much. So anyway, I have it. I'm gonna plant some. But I did get some bare roots because they weren't too bad. This was $3.46. Actually, this wasn't bad for asparagus. So this has 4 roots in there, 4 crowns. Now with asparagus, you plant the crown. It's gonna take 3 years before you can actually harvest anything. At least most bare roots seem to be that way. You have to wait a a couple of years. You can't just put it in and start eating stuff off of it that season. It doesn't work that way. So it's an investment in time. They also had strawberries. Now I have new strawberries, but it didn't hurt me to grab another bag. They were $3.46, and these are 10 roots. So I'm going to add those to the ones I already have. I did get 2 more peonies. Now the peonies were $5.42. Excuse me, not $5.50, $5.42 for the flowering things. And I got a white one because I don't know how many white ones I have, but not enough. I'm sure of that. It seems like most of the ones I have are probably pinks. I did get one pink one just because I really like this. It's called sorbet. I really like that bloom. You see how it has like a little tuft at the top and then a white. There's white in there. So I just got 2. The one thing I was excited about, other than the asparagus, and I got 2 bags of these, were bleeding hearts, white bleeding hearts. Now I've been looking for white bleeding hearts, bare roots, and they were all sold out everywhere online. And then I did buy some for my garden center, but they were already potted up, so I spent a good penny. See, they're little quart, I think they're quart pots. They're about $8.99 or somewhere in there at my garden center. So I spent that much for one. Now here I have 2 roots for $5.42. So I got 2 packs of those. I'm hoping bleeding hearts multiply like other things. Like other roots that you plant. I am hoping. So those are the few things I got from Walmart. They had a giant shepherd's hook, a heavy duty one that I wanted. That was big. It was like 80 inches tall, but I couldn't carry it. It wouldn't fit in the cart, and I had a cart because I was buying food. I couldn't carry that and push the cart, so I had to leave it. I'll go back and get it maybe as a separate trip. But back to my garden tour. Now, one thing I want to mention. I bought this stuff called 30-second cleaner, and it is some kind of house cleaner stuff, and you don't even need a power washer for it. Literally, it came in a bottle that I just hooked to my garden hose so that I could clean the mildew and mold or whatever that stuff is, green and black stuff that gets on your house over the winter, over the season. And let me tell you, that stuff worked great. I saw this guy on YouTube. He's like he has a channel on, I don't know, landscaping stuff, and he said to use it. So I got it like he said. He said to spray it twice. Spray it once, let it sit 2 minutes, spray it again, let it sit 2 minutes, and then rinse it. And I did, and look at my siding. It is white. I mean, this siding is as old as this house. This house was built in 1996, so it's old, but that stuff worked. Now I didn't get the whole house done because I ran out of it. You have to use a lot. I had a gallon plus another half a gallon, and I used that on just the back and the front of the house. But look at that, like it's white. And if I did that every year, that would be great. And it didn't take long. I mean, like I said, I didn't have to get out my big old power washer thing and deal with ladders. That's what I used to do. Get my big ladder out to get up to the top. But this thing, the stream shoots far enough up so that it can reach to the top of your siding, at least mine, because I have a ranch house. The back is like a 2-story. Here it's taller, but it reached the top just fine. I have a very long hose, and I even did my chairs, and they were covered with mildew from over the winter and everything. And look at these, it looked like new almost, other than the sun has faded them a little bit, but they look great. I did the other 2 in the yard too. But anywho, back to the gardening stuff. That stuff is great. Next I still have to do the 2 sides of the house, but I'm not doing them when it's this cold, so that can wait. But that's my plan. The pansies here are still going strong, and I sprinkled in some seed. You can see I sprinkled a lot of it in. I had saved in all of them. I had saved this seed from this packet of little window box flowers I planted last year, and I cannot think of the name of the stuff, but it was beautiful, and it produced these dark purple little flowers on these kind of vining stems, and it was beautiful. So I saved a bunch of it and dried it, and then I just bought the seeds out here and sprinkled it in here. And I figured once the pansies are done, as it gets warmer, then those things will start to grow, and hopefully I'll have more of those, and I'll collect those seeds again, because I really like it. Once it actually flowers, then I'll show it to you, and I'm sure some of you probably will know the name of it. I don't know the name of much. All right, and this one, things are doing well. Now in the green stalks, in this green stalk, this is where I took all those plugs that I showed you before that I was going to plant in my indoor garden system, hydroponic system. So I took those plugs once they sprouted up, and a lot of them I put in here, and a lot of them did well. Some of them died off, but a lot of them did well, like this arugula. Oh, that arugula. I love arugula. That looks good. I mean, it's growing slow because it's cold. Even though these are cool weather things, it's still cold. These are things I had in pots, so they look a little rough because it's cold, but they're still alive. They're fine. I got some oregano and some thyme. But these are like the little plugs that you can see it even, because I left it in the medium because you can't take it out. It won't come out. And I just planted it. So there's lettuces. Here's another lettuce. I got a lot of purple bok choy that I planted up, which is tasty, sauteed, and just some other leafy greens. This looks like this might be a collard green. I'm pretty sure I have tags. Well, no, I probably don't necessarily have tags in this one, but I put tags in the other ones. These are basils, obviously. It's a little cold for the basil, that's why it's looking sad, but hopefully, hopefully it will be consistently warmer overnight soon, because it's cold today. Anyway, all of these are planted up. I have like lettuces and green beans. This one is mostly all green beans. There's a little rosemary over there that I had inside that I bought out here. One of these is all lettuce that I just planted. As you can see, they're just kind of just starting to come up. That's arugula in that one. So this is all like a lettuce mix, I believe, or something to that effect. This one I got some leafy greens. It looks like there's kale and a bunch of other leafy greens, collards, maybe mustards in this one. This one I just planted up. So for the top, I think I put herbs in the top of that one, and I put herbs in the top of this one. I still have spaces on the bottoms. These hold a lot. I mean, I can't remember. There may be 40, or not 40, maybe 30 slots, 40. There may be 40 slots in each one of these towers. I am not sure, but it's a lot of growing space. However, you can see how deep the pockets are. The deepest one is about maybe 10 inches, and so you're only going to grow so much in each one. But I love these for herbs, any kind of leafy greens, stuff that you want to harvest quick, you want right by your kitchen. These are great, and I have so many of them. Yes, I was in love with these when I first started buying them. But anyway, I put them all on little pedestals. Some of them have wheels they can roll, which is nice, because you do have to turn them, so they get equal sun on all sides, or else you'll have one side fuller than the other. These don't roll, but they do spin really nicely. They have a really nice spinning mechanism, and I do not know the names of these different ones. I know these I just got off of Amazon, and they were just highly rated. I had to put them together. They were easy enough, but they were the most inexpensive ones, because I think I got both of those for under 40 bucks. These are some name brand, and I can't remember the name brand, but I know they were expensive. They probably were 30, 40 bucks a piece. These have wheels, so these two at the end you can move, but these are from Greenstock. That's why they fit perfectly. They are from Greenstock itself, and they weren't cheap, because Greenstock isn't cheap, or wasn't cheap when I was buying them. But I have these 6 that stay here on the deck, and I have a couple of more of the orange, the original terracotta color. I don't use those just because I don't need them. But I still have them just in case I need more growing space at some point. But anywho, let's move it on. This video is going to take forever. I've always running my mouth. Okay, now what else did I do? See, look how white that siding is. Oh, great. I mean, it was covered in that green mildewy stuff. It was kind of gross, and I was dreading having to get that power washer and that ladder. Okay, fruit trees. Fruit trees are doing quite well, even though I missed my first spraying. Yeah, this is a nectarine tree. I think it did have a couple of flowers on there, and so it's done flowering. This is a pussy willow. This is a black pussy willow. That over there might be another nectarine, and then there's an apple tree here, which is finally getting some more sun now that I got rid of that maple. There's a little bit more sun in my backyard, thank goodness. That maple was, if I turn around, the maple was like right there, so it was kind of blocking the sun a bit. Now this tree is not my tree, unfortunately. It is bugging me though, because these branches are too close to my roof. So as I've said before, I have to save up and maybe next fall get the tree trimmer to come and just get this stuff away from my house. I do not like any branches of anything hanging over my house. Anyway, this one's apple. I don't think this one flowered this year, but it is at least looking pretty healthy, and I'm happy about that. It's getting much bigger. As you can see, all of my hydrangeas are leafing out now. These are the limelight primes that go along the border of the fence. This pearl bush is beautiful. I thought it was gonna die when I planted this probably 2 years ago, and it was this little bitty thing in a tiny pot, and it looked sickly the whole time, and I figured it wasn't getting enough sun, but I didn't move it. And now look at it. It's getting tall. It's full of flowers. It's just very pretty. I really like it. This over here is a pear tree, and it does have flowers on it, a couple, not many, but it has a couple of flowers. This is another pussy willow. This is a cherry tree. Cherry trees, at least mine, usually have this kind of a leaf. That's how I can tell them. And I don't even know what to say about this leaf. It's a little bit shiny, but it's very thin. It's very thin. It's not like a heavy leaf. It looks, I mean, it seems like it would tear easy to me. And it has this middle rib and these lines and this kind of ribbing on the edge. I don't even know what you call that, serrations on the edge. Now that probably means nothing to most people, but that's how I tell it apart. But anyway, it has something going on in terms of some kind of potential flower. Either it's about to flower or it has flowered. I'm not sure, but I would love to have some cherries. Okay, this is another cherry tree. As you can see, it has the same leaves. Forsythia here, which I love to use those as filler in my cut flower arrangements. This dogwood, I wanted to be able to use this as filler too when it gets big enough. This tree has tons of flowers on it. This may be a, who knows. Oh, the leaves almost look like the cherry again. I wonder if that is a cherry tree. I don't know where the tag is. It probably blew away over the years. But it's full of flowers, whatever it is. If it's not a cherry tree, then it could be a pear or a plum. Because that's the only other things back here. Alright, this one. This is a plum tree, I believe. Yeah, no, apple. Oh, I was so wrong. This is a Candy Crisp apple tree. And did that one flower? I can't remember. I don't think that one flowered. Yeah, I don't think that one did. This one is a plum. The plums have, it seems, smaller leaves. And they're not serrated. But much smaller than the ones on the cherry. But this one has flowered this season. This is another plum, because it has a sign. It did flower as well, so let's hope it gets some fruit. So my trees are doing pretty good, I will say, back here. So I'm pleased with that. All right, let's move on. Okay, sedum everywhere. Lots of sedum, and as you can see, lots of alliums. You see that, like, kind of semicircle of alliums. A peony right in the middle, and it has a bud on it. I don't know what color it is. We'll see. This is the first year I'll be able to harvest peonies. Some of them are not 3 years old. Some are. I couldn't tell you which is which, but I know I'm going to harvest this year off of whichever ones that give me nice tall stems. There's one hydrangea back there that's greening up, and there's a lot of foliage left over from the crocuses that were here. There's one mini rose bush back there, and there are some tulips. Look at that. There are 2 white tulips that just popped up back there. Those are from prior years. They've just decided to come back, and they're very pretty. I'm going to leave them there and let them bloom out. I'm done collecting tulips, so all the rest have just been blooming out. As you can see, all the reds over here. I didn't cut any of these reds, I don't think. I just didn't want any because I had so many of the other ones. There's a bunch of Sweet William coming up here underneath the grass that I have to pull. But there is Sweet William there. It's a biennial, so I plant some every year to keep it going. It lasts a long time in the vase. And then lots of lilies are coming up over here, returning. There's a couple of mini roses in here. Excuse the barking of the neighbor's dogs. And columbine. That columbine returns every year. It's beautiful. It gets bigger and bigger. There's a hydrangea back here. And of course this privet, which I love the color. I'm waiting on it to get bigger. My tulip field, as you can see, there's a few here and there that are finishing up, but they're almost done, and there are a number of alliums in here as well. You can see the alliums in the back. But yeah, it was a good tulip harvest, even though they kind of all seem to come due at one time. Unfortunately, but they have been beautiful for sure. Pink ones. And then over here I have some chives and some other herbs, some oregano and things like that, and some thyme. There's garlic in here that's growing, and more garlic here. I like growing garlic and onions. There may be some onions mixed in there too, I'm not sure. But here's the red tulips, the red pomponettes. That back there is a cherry tree. I do not think that one flowered this year. And here we have a sugar tip Rose of Sharon that has these pale pink and white flowers on her. That back raised bed is still empty. There are a few stalks of growth in there, but I'm saving that for either my Lysianthus or some of the plugs that are coming soon. See, I've done my weeding over here for the most part. I'm gonna have to go through and do a little mini one. I don't know if I put down my prune. I think I did. But anyway, my berries are starting to recover. As you can see, that one is getting finally some leaves on it. This one, for whatever reason, died all the way back to the ground. It's coming out. This one has thorns. That one has thorns. So one is a Marionberry and maybe a boysenberry, but the rest are thornless. All the blackberries are thornless. So this section is all blackberries. See, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I love the blackberries. They are wonderful, and you know, I kind of get them all season long, really. Once they start maturing, there's, you know, a few every few days, so it works out nicely. I do have 2 incredible hydrangeas here. One's there and one's over there, and that one is still alive. I do see some green coming. It's growing a lot slower than the other one, but one is a blush pink and one is a white one. Try not to turn too fast. I am not the best at filming. These are some things that came back from last year, so I don't know what they are. It could be black-eyed Susans. This looks different. I don't know what that is. That has some interesting looking foliage. There was something I planted here I did not like, only because the bugs attacked it nonstop, the aphids. And it had a pretty little flower on there, but it was a problem for me. Over here I have planted cucumbers and honeydew and probably a watermelon, sugar baby watermelon or something, cantaloupe. Flower starts that I had indoors. Calendula looks like I got planted out here. These all look like maybe snapdragons. And so I interplanted those with my little blueberry plants. The blueberry plants are still very small because most of those I just planted in the fall. But I'm not going to go down this whole strip, but these are all little tiny blueberry plants. So I have about 8 of them here. They all seem to be growing. They're all very short, only about 6 inches tall. But give it a couple of years and hopefully I will be getting blueberries galore. This section over here is not planted up yet. Usually I plant some annual there. Probably will be zinnias, I'm guessing. And then over here I have, you can't see them because they're so tiny and I'm not going to get down there, but there are a lot of little flower starts going through here. And I'm not sure which ones. I planted a little bit of everything. I have not yet planted stuff that loves the heat, so I have not planted sunflowers yet, or I think I did plant the cosmos, but I haven't planted sunflowers. I haven't planted zinnias, that kind of thing. Those are coming soon. This I believe is lunaria, which is called money plant, because I know I planted it and it is from last year, so it's a biennial, I believe. And I looked it up because I was thinking, why would I plant this short purple flower? I can't use this in a bouquet. It's so short. It's like 6 inches tall. But apparently the first year it's purple flowers, and then the second year it turns into these little circular clear seed pods, and that's why I decided I should grow it. A lot of people grow it for cut flower bouquets, for filler. We'll see. The bachelor's buttons are doing well. That's what those are. They make a nice little filler flower. I've been pulling out anything that looks like this. It's either dill or worse, Orlea, which I now despise, or something, coriander, something like that. And I've been getting rid of it because that stuff reseeds everywhere. It is so invasive. I'm going to use the word invasive in my garden, that I have been pulling it out all over the front, everywhere. I mean, everywhere. And I thought Orlea was a great cut flower because it produces this pretty umbral type shape, and it's white and it grows so easily. And I couldn't get the Dara and the Ami to really take off for me. I haven't been good at growing that from seed. So I was like, oh, I can do the Orlea. But that did not work out. Actually, I have a sign here. This one is actually Dara. Thank God I have a sign because I would have pulled it out. I have 2 Dara plants, just 2. There's just those 2. So I don't even know what that is, but I might have to pull that out. I've been pulling that stuff out. I just can't deal with Orlea, and I can't deal with decorative chives, because once they go to seed, they are also all over my front yard. I have 1 chive plant that produced beautiful, flowers and seed heads that I just had just for decoration purposes. There are now little onions sprouting up all over the front garden. So I'm not happy. More columbine and sweet William. I think that's a little patch of sweet William back there. There's some delphiniums back there, larkspur. We've been through all of this. The hellebores are doing well. Basil, I planted some basil in between the basil that I had inside. Some things coming back from last year, also like scabiosa, yarrow way back there. Lots of euplorum. That stuff recedes readily too, but at least I like that. And I can easily pull those little starts up. That other stuff, that Orlea, type carrot stuff. You had to pry that out with like a hoary knife or something. Yeah, bleeding hearts is in the middle of here. I showed you those last time, and then the Solomon seal that I added to the back. And then there are a few garlics popping up from years prior, no doubt. I had garlic back here, I have potatoes back here. I kind of rotate things, so that's what's going on. But you can see everything is like green and lush, is it not? Oh, I'm excited. These little mini raspberry plants and blueberry plants I have here are doing well, but I'm getting little raspberries popping up. They have to be raspberries. It's the only thing that I planted over here, besides blueberries. So I do not know if those are from the ones I just planted, the little supposed to be mini ones, or if those are from ones that I planted years ago. When I first started my garden, started planting berries, I had a whole raspberry patch right here, and it was horrible. One, it had thorns. Two, it produced a giant shrub. Luckily, the raspberries were all on the outside parts. There were no raspberries on the inside of it, but it was this huge mass. And then these little starts would pop up all over the place, feet away from where the section was. They were just popping up everywhere. I ripped all of that stuff out. So I hope those haven't made some kind of weird resurgence. Anywho, more hellebores. The peonies are growing like gangbusters now that it's warmed up a little bit. There's one there. Look how big that one is. And this one has buds on it too. You can see little flower buds. So I have so many peonies, as you all know. There's my little clematis is starting its way up the trellis. But yeah, the peonies all seem to be doing well. There's a couple that are further behind, but those might be ones that I just planted too in the fall, because I keep adding. My strawberry bags, those starts that I just got, I'm going to put in these bags because they're empty except for this last one. It has, as you can see, it has some flowers. So those will hopefully be pollinated and turn into strawberries. I got some bags over here too, and only one of them has a plant in it. So that's where I'm going to put that little pack of starts that I just got of strawberry plants. As you can see, these are all flowered out. These are my currants and gooseberries and jostaberries I have over here, and all of them have flowered. As you can see, they're all bushy and beautiful. I prune those every year. Oh, look, and there's a bee. I don't think you can see it, and I didn't zoom in that far. On cue, in this freezing, there you go, you can see that little bee there. In this freezing weather, on cue, a bumblebee came out of nowhere. It's cold, it's 40 degrees. Alright, here's another peony with buds all over it. And yeah, everything is doing well. My sweet peas have finally taken off. Took a while. I was worried. I was thinking I'm not gonna get any sugar snap peas or pea pods this season, but as you can see, they've taken off. So they're going strong. That's just still onions in there. I did plant over there is a hydrangea. I'm not sure which one that is. I'm not sure. It's one that I picked up inexpensively, and I think I didn't have anywhere else to put it, so I popped it there because and it doesn't get much sun in that little corner, so I didn't know how I was going to do, but it seems to be doing okay. I did plant peppers here, but I planted seeds, so we'll see what they do. This is sweet peppers, this whole container. This one's empty. This one is empty except for the mint that's come back. I'll probably plant some, I don't know, some tomatoes or something in there. This one is hot peppers, all hot peppers. And now these are all seeds. I planted the seeds directly. I didn't even do starts because for whatever reason I have a hard time with starts for tomatoes and peppers. I do not know why. Feverfew there is coming back from last year. And this is the big tub where really I put almost all of my strawberry plants that I got this year. As you can see, some of them are flowering, so I should have a couple of them look like they may have died off. And that one, well, that one still has green on it, but that one looks dead. which one out of all of those isn't bad. Now these, I just started putting these together. I got these this year, and I got these from, they're big too. I can tell you the exact, maybe 3 by 6 feet. But I got these from Gurney's, and I buy stuff from them when they have coupons that are like, you know, buy one get one, or it's like 50% off, something to that effect. So basically I got half off of these things. That's the only reason why I bought them, because I wouldn't have paid full price. But anyway, they're very good for covering up things and keeping pest away and keeping heat in. So I do have some things I did try to start from seed that don't look the greatest. There's a couple of eggplants in here and a couple of little pepper plants. And these other 2 containers over there are tomatoes, but those are seeds that I just sowed directly. So there's nothing going on yet. There are a couple of sad looking sunflowers that I just had in pots in the house, and I need to get rid of them. And I didn't expect them to survive because it's too cold. But in there is potatoes. Also in these pots here are where I planted my potatoes, and I just have these little things in there to keep the dogs from digging in there. But there's potatoes and all of these in rhubarb, and I think I sprinkled radishes in the ones with the rhubarb because I just planted those bare roots. It'll be a couple, 2-3 years before I can get any rhubarb. The beets seem to be growing slowly but surely, and then there are just a couple of ranunculus in there. My ranunculus did not grow again another year, so I'm giving up now. Unfortunately, I have tried for at least 4 years to grow ranunculus flowers, which is one of my favorite flowers from these little corms, because they are so expensive at a nursery. So buy one ranunculus plant is $9 at the one nursery near me that sells them, and that's for one. You can buy a whole bag of corms for like $15 or something. And the bag has like 50 plants in it, but I can't get them to do anything. A couple of them will sprout like you see here, and then I have 2 or 3 that sprouted, and I plant them all indoors, but the rest will just sit there and kind of rot eventually. So I'm kind of bummed about the ranunculus. So I'm moving on though. I won't be buying anymore. It's just throwing more money after something that's not working out. So here I have my little leafy greens that have taken off. I did eat some bok choy out of here. I got cabbages in here. I got not dill. I got cilantro. That's a different kind of cilantro. It has a different shape of leaf. Very pretty. But cilantro chervil, which is really good in like eggs. If you haven't had it, it's like a French herb, but it's really good in egg dishes. And I got some Swiss chard and there's some things, and then another rhubarb. And then my onions are doing well. They're getting bigger, I'll say that. But I interplanted with the tulips. So the idea is the tulips are done and the foliage has to stay there until it completely dies. In the meantime, the onions will be coming up. There are onions going all the way down to about the halfway point. And then I'm going to, on the other half where the tulips are dying, down there, that's probably where I'm going to put the corn. Because then if I need to, I haven't had to tie up my corn or stake it. I thought I would, but maybe it's because I have a fenced yard, so it doesn't get that much wind, really. So I haven't had to ever tie it up or anything. So I think I'm going to plant corn right all along the second half of that fence. I usually only plant about a dozen stalks of corn, because that would be 24 ears of corn, which is a lot for me. So if I freeze it, usually I still have corn that I throw out by the time 2 years later, by the time I grow another. All right, so that's the end of the backyard tour. Oh, these two, I have one of those little cover mini greenhouse things I put on this bed, and then the other one I'm going to put on this bed, and these two beds are empty. These are where I'm going to plant my Lysianthus, for one, that's coming. I've got plugs coming, and then I also have aster coming, so I'll probably plant those. But the flowers, co-flowers that I want protected, are going in these tall raised beds. And so that is it for my backyard setup. I have all these stones here that I removed from the border up front. Excuse me. I have all these stones here that I removed from the border up front, and I am going to use them to make a little walkway from my back door here, because right now I just have some pavers sitting here. But I'm going to use them to form some kind of walkway here, and I will do that sometime in the summer once all the planting stuff is done. Yeah, because it gets really wet here. There's a problem, which I can't afford to address now. I mean, it would require probably big equipment and having this whole thing raised and re-landscaped, but water collects here by this when it rains heavily. I mean, and so I need some kind of solid walkway. So I'm gonna put the stones there and make some kind of little walkway that just kind of comes out to here. That's all I need. And then over here is dead space by the window well, and so I just got things that don't mind shade. I got some astilbe and then some little hostas, and I have this fence here because if I didn't, my dogs would be all up in there, which we don't want. So that's the back. All right, next I'm gonna go to the front, and I may put that up as a separate video because this is getting long. All right, until next time, bye bye.